Hey gang, here is the video review from week 3, our second week out on Fremont Street. We had a lot of cars and trucks and automobiles and things on wheels. So we're going to look at that. Some of you guys jumped in for some people, so we're going to look at some of those. And then just some other shots that were standout, notable. Okay, so let's start here. So I love the perspective on this, focusing in on this battered leaf, but I love what's happening here with the streak in the sky. I love the out of focus here. That shallowed up the field is working. But man, I do not like this guy's butt and this cone over here. The cone would be really easy to remove, but him not so much. So I would just hang out and wait for him to move if I could. And then if I could recompose it to just kind of hide this structural element of a sign or something behind there. So a little bit of just tweaking, finessing, and waiting on this one. So quickly, I just want to show you this photograph. I cropped it to an 8:10 proportion, which is a standard photographic proportion, so people recognize that. But I removed the guy and the cone. So just a refresher where we started here. So we've got this guy down here, we've got this cone, they're a little distracting. This little bit of tree over here also. So basically, I cropped it right about here. So let's go back to the crop right here. So by removing that, it really focuses us onto the leaf and the truck and just the contrast between man and nature here. And those couple of little things took me 5 minutes, but it altered the photograph drastically. So think about that when you're editing your images. Love the angle here. Love it in black and white. Love the grittiness. Love the grain in here. It's working. Nothing distracting us. This truck is quite a sight to see, and you guys did a great job photographing it. A totally different angle. Well, my neurotic side would just want me to totally just use the straighten tool and just straighten this as a horizon line. But that's me. I think it's working either way, but that's something I would think about. So I played with the crop a little bit. I did it 2 or 3 times until I got one I liked. So it wasn't as obvious as I thought it was going to be. So this is where I ended up liking it. So the bottom is parallel to the bottom of the frame versus this. To tell you the truth, I think both work. So what do you guys think? On this one, it's just a muscle car. It's nicely done. You get a feel of the power of the car. But what I really like is the framing. So we got the tires down here. We got the back of the car. Nothing feels wrong. Even this mop or whatever it is, it's not being cut off here. And I love how we're being looked at back here. Remember, when you're looking at photographs, it's about 20 minutes to fully soak in and see everything that's in there. We don't spend that much time with our photographs, but you might want to spend a little bit longer when you're looking. And of course, it's nice to see them bigger than on a phone or something small where we're looking at it a lot of times on Facebook. So try to get on the computer and take a look at these things and enlarge them. Nice crop, nice up close. The Rolls Royce and the rose. It's just a simple, nice, appealing photograph. Once again, like the angle, getting down low on this. Love the color. And these cars over here, appropriate crop. We've got the top of the power line here, looking good. Everything is looking good. And you get a sense of where you're at. You got a little bit of trash down here, some dirt and goo over here. So one thing I would do, and I'm being picky, I just clone out these 2 little white spots in here, maybe a few of these others, just because it catches our eye. I know that's me. It might not be you. I believe that's the same car, just processed differently. But I love the bicycle riding past. I love both their shades of green, blue. I like how you desaturated the background and put more emphasis on the bicycle. So I love the 2 forms of transportation coming here. So this was a nice photograph as well. Nope, wrong way. Okay, now I think we're hopping into some people. What a character here with this ventriloquist monkey ape. So very, very entertaining. It's really about him. So what happens if you did a little bit more blur, try to blur out the background a little bit, blur this guy a little bit more. Not to the point where it's like crazy blurred, but more like something over here, or just wait for him to move a little bit. But we really do focus in on this, so I'm just being a little picky. That's what I do. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the toe of the shoe. That bothers me. So on this one, I removed this foot, and I kind of blurred him a little bit to make him less noticeable. So here's the layer on. Foot removed, guy blurred, off, on, off, on, off. So it's subtle, but it really helps us focus in on this man. I only blurred him. I didn't blur any of this other stuff back here. This guy was already blurred like that from movement. So think about it. How can you control your image so that we look at your subject? This one, if you had a connection with him, if he looked at you, just a little bit of a glance, it would be a more impactful photograph. Right now, it's all about the sign. And I'd up the contrast on it. It's a little bit flat, so you want blacker blacks and whiter whites. But I like what you're looking at, so it's a good start. Nice interaction with this woman. I want to see her feet. Where's the feet? We got enough stuff up here that we can include the feet. And if not, just step back a step. I know we get caught up in the faces, but the feet here is important as well. And then when you're looking at the shadow down here, the shadow would be more impactful as well. But good moment, good interaction. Okay, so we've got this shot and this shot. Same two people, totally different feel. One in color, one in black and white, but they're both have a warm feel to them. They're both inviting. So I think you did a nice job. You really connected with this twosome. And same here. So, and I can't decide. Color, black and white, color, black and white. They're both gripping me. I like that you step back here a little bit and include the location, but here it's really about them, and here it's more of a street scene with them in it, but it is truly the interaction with you and them. Walking the dog, so something's happening, there's a purpose here, nice placement, and a good stride. So the stride is important a lot of times, so where the feet land sometimes can make or break a photograph. Love the interaction here. You've got something going. I like the $3 beer that's blurred out in the background. We can read it. We know what it is, but it helps to tell the story. So you've got some layering in here, even though it is a fairly flat photograph. So I like the grain as well. Black and white's working. Okay, feet, you guys. I'm always about those feet. So you got room up top, so let's get the feet down below. But great interaction. Nice placement in the frame, so not centered. It just invites you in. Feet, feet, feet. What an interaction again. You've got it with these people. So just think about the whole. So if you're going to be standing back to get the full body, get the full body. A lot of times I'd be like, wait for the car to go past, but not in this shot because it's about location. It's about that moment. And it's really about him. That's secondary. It's not distracting from me. Dialed in, doing his phone. This one, I go back and forth on about this feet thing. So this foot's lighter and this foot's darker. I might just do a little editing and darken this and this area down to push our emphasis up in here to the face. And then it's not going to matter that we've got these feet cropped off because then it becomes a nice tighter feel. And I like the little bit of the light post back here. That's an iconic little light post, isn't it? Other editing options on this one. So at first I thought we needed to darken this down through here and maybe down here to help force our eye to him and give less importance to these feet that are being cut off. So the first thing I did was I did this. I created a dodge and burn layer and I just darkened all of this down around here. So you can see on, off. I also darkened under his pants because it would be more shadowed there. So that's one way. And basically I just took what Keon had and just finessed it with darkening some areas. The next thing I did was I opened the file up into Silver Effects Pro, NIK Silver Effects Pro, and I did this. In there I totally pumped up the contrast, made things a little bit grittier. darken the edges, and I also gave it a border. So in a few of these images, I've talked about borders and what they might do and how it alters how you perceive the image of where things are being cut off when you have that little bit of black border. So between this, and this, it just comes with experience, fine-tuning your eye. So start playing. I know you already are. Classic shot from the week. Look at the lights over here. That little detail, that little strip. It's perfectly placed in there. And you just wonder, what on earth is he looking at? It's just an empty little area. It's very contemplative. The sun is beautiful, so he's probably just enjoying that warmth of the sun. And you get a sense of that. Very nice photograph. Cracks me up. Tattoo and piercing, and then she's holding this baby. She looks happy. Everyone's happy. But it is a funny photograph. The color is working. It's just working. Everything is in its place. I think I was here with you when you shot this. I did not see that woman. I love that. Classic shot of downtown. Keep going for these kind of things. Whoa, where's it going? Stop. One more time. Here we go. So up here in the sky, I would clone that out. That's like dust or dirt or something on your sensor. So take the time to remove those little elements. And this is dust over here too, above the line of the building. But is this building going to be gone? Or are they going to fix it up? But you have a point in history of when it looked like this. And of course, the Peter Pan sign is iconic. Nice work here on this black and white. I feel a little tension right here, but it's working over here, so I think that this is okay. I just might play a little bit and maybe give it a titch more darkness down there. Or have you guys thought about adding any kind of borders to your photograph? A lot of times a border, and not a thick, heavy border, but a 5 pixel or something border cleans things up. Or go look for some film edges. Like we used to do in the old days in the darkroom. We'd file out our negative carriers and they would be all a little uneven. But once again, you guys, take the time to clean up dust. Got some dust up here in the sky. So look at the little details. A quick 15 pixel black stroke. So before, after. So it's subtle, but it contains the image, and I think that looks pretty good. If you search the internet, you can find a wide variety of borders as well, but sometimes simple is best. I'm looking over there to see if that's some of us photographing. Luckily, I can't tell. I like it. Looking through the fence, the sign. It's a great shot. Another just balanced. Right on. Playing with the distance. I'm losing my word right now, but I like how it's looking here. One thing I would do is think about this in the spot over here on the right hand side. What is this? It's a crane, but why is it in here? It's kind of taken away, so either compose it without that in it or just clone it out. That's a quick, easy clone. The rest of the photograph is really nice. Love the crazy, impactful color here. Pow. Love looking up here at the sky. And those bulbs just pulling us right up. And then you think, what happened to those other bulbs? Little thing, I'd clean up this bottom right little brown thing here. Another dust spot, you guys. So clean your sensors or clean your images before you submit them. And then because this is all about these leading lines and stuff, I would probably clean up these little white dots in here too. I wouldn't bother with this kind of stuff because it is part of the image in this rusty kind of area here, but these little white things, it would just add impact to have that cleaned up. Nice. I want the little point up here at the top of the motel, but to tell you the truth, if I put a border on there, that would solve it. But I'd still want that point. But the rest of it's looking really good. I love the color, the blue and that green, oh my gosh, and that crazy mannequin. This is a nice photograph, even though I'm pointing out the tip. I really enjoy it. This is one of my favorite shots of the week. It is simple. It's just dynamic. It's colorful. I just keep wondering, where is it? And then you know that there were more of these flags on here, and it's just so beat up. I like the detail that we're seeing in all of these strands. I could spend a little bit of time looking at this. Super color, doorway. I like the intensity here. Looking out. Who shot this one? I think it was Sandy. So when Sandy went in here, I was on the outside. There were actually workers in there, and she was pretty bold to go and make this photograph. And I'm glad she did. So it never hurts to walk up and go in and do something like this. Maybe talk to the people that are there. They were doing construction work here. I like the photograph. This one is one of those ones you get caught up in the worker guy, but then you look down at the bottom, diagnostics and electrical, major repairs. You almost miss that if you don't spend enough time looking at this photograph. Really well done photo. I like the layering, I like the texture, I love the color, I love the balance. It works. Same with this one. And I like the relationship of these peaked roofs side by side. I love that we have the 301 right here that we can see as well on the door. Great abstracted pattern shot. I think you shot that from the parking garage. Very nice. Way to take advantage of some elevation to make a photograph. So don't be afraid to go into parking garages, go up onto overwalks across the street, explore different heights in your scene if you can. You don't always have to be at street level. If you see something up higher and you can get to it, give it a try. You might be asked to leave, but you might get a few shots before that happens. Or maybe no one will come along. Vegas. Another black and white. I just like it. I love the subtlety of the Vegas on the side. We get a sense of the city, parking. We have the crane. A little bit of work is happening. So I don't know if you can make it work, but I would try to shift my juxtaposition a little bit so I had the full word grand up in here that wouldn't be cut off by the post. So that's something I would think about. And then I could still probably frame up with Vegas, because this is the key right here. But boy, that would be really nice if you could bring that in as well fully. But nice black and white. And I believe that's where we were ending. So you guys, I think it was a great shoot out on Fremont Street. I can't wait to see this week's work from Love. The things I've been starting to see popping in have been looking great. So keep shooting. If you have any comments, email me, put them up on Facebook. If you haven't put one of these photographs up, you might want to so other people can chime in. And keep snapping.